Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of reading recommendations for children and teens. I'm Miss Susan, and all the books that I recommend today you will be able to get through the Cape May County Library website, through our digital platforms, Hoopla and Libby, by going to www.cmclibrary.org. Today I'll be recommending 3 more books. And for each book I'll give you the genre information as well as the recommended grade levels, age ranges, and the guided reading level. The first book I'm recommending today is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Shel Silverstein has written many poetry books, and he's also written The Missing Piece, and he's a pretty well-known children's author. This story is about a boy in a tree, and like the title says, the tree loves to give to the boy. This is a story of love and selflessness and the gift of giving. The tree meets the boy as a child, and like all boys love to climb and swing off the branches and eat the apples from the tree. And so the boy enjoyed the tree all while growing up. And then eventually, of course, the boy grows older. So the tree, his needs are not the same anymore as what they were when he was a boy. But that doesn't matter, because as the story goes, the tree continues to give to the boy in different ways. For example, in this part of the book, the boy says he needs money, and so the tree offers all of his apples to the boy so that he can sell them for money. So you have to read the rest of the story to find out all the ways that the giving tree gives to the boy. But this story is really about the gift of giving and of receiving. It's great to receive something, but it's even better to give something. So this has flowing text and illustrations that support the story. It's a very serene acceptance of another's capacity to love in return. And it's for grades preschool through 3rd grade, ages 4 through 8. It's a guided reading level J on some resources that I was able to access, and in other sources that I had it as an N. So could be a J, could be an N. I think it's closer to a J in my opinion. It's on Hoopla and Libby as an ebook. So that's my first recommendation. It's been out for a while, but it's a great story of love and the gift of giving, The Giving Tree. My second recommendation is A Chair for My Mother by Vera B. Williams. Vera B. Williams has written many children's books, and her books are always a lot of fun to read and have a great story behind them. In this particular book, it's realistic fiction. It's a Caldecott Honor book, which is an award given for illustrations. And it's told from the young girl's perspective of how she and her family saved coins in a jar in order to buy a big comfy chair for her mother. So this is a little girl, her name is Rosa, and this is her mother, and her mother is a waitress at the Blue Tile Diner. So you can imagine what it's like to be on your feet all day long, you know, serving others and putting in long hours as a waitress. But what I didn't mention yet is that this family, Rosa and her mother, have had really a horrible thing happen to them the previous year. Their apartment caught on fire, and they lost all of their belongings to this fire. And so they are doing okay now. They have a new apartment, and they're very thankful for the help of the community and the neighbors for bringing food and lending some furniture and stuff. But they don't have a lot in their apartment, and they really need a big comfy chair. So the characters in this book, as I mentioned, are Rosa, her mother, who's the waitress at the Blue Tile Diner, and there's a grandmother in the story. So they all work together to fill this big jar with their coins, anything they can actually save. And over time, they do end up filling the jar. But now you have to read the story to find out what happens. Were they able to find a big comfy chair, the perfect chair for their mother and the rest of them to enjoy at the end of a very long, hard day? This book is for grades 1 through 5, ages 6 through 10, and it's a guided reading level M. It can be found on Hoopla as an audiobook. So my second recommendation. Great story. My third book today is The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate. This is a juvenile fiction 2013 Newbery Medal winner. It's a really great, heartwarming, soul-touching story. And it's a novel that is written in first person from the perspective or the point of view of a gorilla named Ivan, a silverback gorilla. And so can you imagine reading a story told from a gorilla's perspective? That's how this story is written, entirely from the gorilla's point of view. In this story, Ivan reminisces how he ends up in a cage at a mall off an interstate highway. And he was captured as a young baby gorilla and sold to Mac, his owner. And Mac has he has a little indoor mall that he has these animals that he's bought and puts on display. And so Ivan has some friends that live in the same mall with him. Stella, an elephant, an older elephant, and a stray dog named Bob. And Ivan's a pretty easygoing silverback gorilla. He likes to watch TV and basically entertains himself. And then Max hires a custodian to clean the indoor mall at night, and the custodian brings his daughter Julia with him when he comes to clean. And Julia is an artist, and she likes to draw and paint. And so she hangs out by the animals that are caged, and she ends up giving crayons and papers to white paper to Ivan, and Ivan starts drawing, and Max sells Ivan's drawings to any of the patrons that come through the mall area. So Ivan's pretty content with his life until they end up getting a baby elephant brought into the mall. And that doesn't sit well with Ivan, and he worries that this is not a good life for a baby elephant. And so you have to read the rest of the story to find out what happens and whether or not Ivan can make a difference in the lives of his friends, and especially the life of the baby elephant named Ruby. Although this is an entirely fictional, it is actually inspired by a true story of a gorilla named Ivan who lived a very similar life as the silverback gorilla in this book for 27 years before it was adopted by Zoo Atlanta in 1994. So that's kind of interesting. Also, what's cool about this book is that there's a sequel that just came out. It's called The One and Only Bob, and that's the story of the stray dog, probably told in a similar way, first person from the perspective of the stray dog. This book is recommended for grades 3 through 8, ages 8 through 13. It's a guided reading level S. It can be found on Hoopla as an audiobook and on Libby as an ebook and an audiobook. Highly recommend this novel. And Katherine Applegate's written several children's books, and all of her books are great reads. So if you can find another book by this author, your child will really, or teen would really enjoy this book. In order to get these books digitally, you will need your library card before going to Cape May County Library website. at www.cmclibrary.org. So go ahead and get your library card and go onto our website. When you pull up our website, you'll see the word menu and 3 little bars next to the word menu. That's a hamburger menu. Just click right on the 3 little bars. The next page that comes up gives you the opportunity to borrow. Right in the middle of the page it says borrow, click on borrow. And then that'll bring up a page that gives you different ways you can borrow. So just go down to ebooks. When you click on ebooks, that'll bring up Hoopla and the Overdrive, which is Libby, and you can get right in to see the books and many more than I recommended today. If you don't have a library card, not a problem. You can go on to our website at www.cmclibrary.org, and right in the top center it says get your library card here. It's in a rectangular picture. Click on that picture and you'll just fill out a little bit of information and be able to get your library card. If you had a library card but lost it, not a problem. You can go ahead and email us at reference@cmclibrary.org and we will contact you. Don't forget to check out all the other great resources on our website for Kittney County kids. Just go ahead and click on the CMC Library Kids icon. Brings up a ton of different activities and resources for your child or teen. Also, if you haven't already signed up for our reading challenge, go ahead and do so soon. You'll be able to log all your reading time as well as participate in different challenges. I hope you enjoy my recommendations today. Thank you, and look for more book recommendation videos soon. See you next time.